Hey, what's up, fam? My name is Michael, and I want to welcome you to my channel, The Planet I. For those of you that are coming back, welcome back. For those of you that are coming for just seeing me for the first time, welcome. And I definitely want you to become a part of our community. Please feel free to check out some of my videos. We have 12 favorites, and then we're gonna have a couple of on the list. And this is in no particular order. Is the Philodendron billietiae. This plant, I mean, it's just calls to me, man. It's a beautiful plant. I think it's definitely an easy grower. I have, especially since fall kicked in, it's been putting out a leaf every like 3 to 4 weeks. So right now we have a new one that's coming up, and then this one is new. This one looks like it's about to go out, but the rest of them are fairly new. This was what the size that I had when I first got the plant. So as you can see, it's been getting increasingly bigger. At some point, I'm going to have to put it on a pole. So the next one on my list is one that I got from Ecuador. I went through their auction that they usually have on Saturdays. This one is the Bessie AF. And I love it. I mean, I love the color, love the coloration. It's definitely a pretty steady grower. I don't really, right now I'm not having it in any type of humidity tank or anything, or what is it? A Millsbo cabinet or whatever. I'm not doing any of that, and it's going pretty good. It does have a new grow point right here, if you guys can see it. And just got it probably a few weeks ago, but I'm telling you, I'm loving it already. I have 2 other ones. But this is actually the biggest one out of the 3. But it's a beautiful plant. And you guys, I tell you, if you guys have an opportunity to get one, I'd say definitely grab one. I think the smallest one would go for about $35 as of December 2022, and then of course they go up from there. So the best. Next one is. I've been wanting, this was one of my wish list ones. I wanted it for a while. This one is actually from Dade Plant Company. I found them on Instagram, and it was and when I saw it, I was just like, man, I was in love with it. And I think that if you guys saw my unboxing video, you know what I'm talking about. This is the This is the Monstera Thai Constellation. It has been pretty stable. I think I've had it for about September, October, about 2.5, 3 months. So it's been pretty good. This is actually just popped out its first leaf in my care, which is this one right here. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It is one of the queens / kings of the plant world right now, and I really can't wait to see it grow, because I know that they're pretty slow growers. I actually had to give you a little story behind this. I wound up getting a seedling tissue culture. This plant is tissue culture anyway, but I got a seedling, and I knew it was a slow grower, but I didn't know it grew that slow. So it was just small for so long. And one day I'll show you that one, but it was small. So I was like, you know what? I want to get a bigger one. So I wound up I found this one. It's within my price range. So I wound up getting it, and it's beautiful. It's nice. I think this one is about to go out, but it looks like it's starting to show that it enjoys being in my care. We have this new one, and then there's another one that's about to come out right here. So yeah, the Monstera Thai Constellation. Okay, so the next one that I want to show you guys. This is number 4. Again, another one that I love. This one actually I got this one in September, August or September, and she's just beautiful. I mean, this is actually definitely one of my favorite ones. I haven't had a lot of issues with it in terms of it acclimating. It lives, and all the plants on this list basically live within my house. No tents, or grow tents or anything like that, or grow cabinets. This is great. All right, so enough to say about that. This is the Anthurium luxurians, and she has been growing. This is actually my newest leaf. So as you can see, she's getting bigger with each one. Another one that I can't wait to see how she grows. I mean, what she looks like when she gets really big. But this is the Anthurium luxurians. All right. All right. So next one on my list, number 5, is one that has surprised me when this one actually one of the first ones I got this year. I believe I got her in like August. And she is one of my first imports, which was like in August, July, August timeframe. She is she's great. I'm sorry, I keep looking at her, but she's definitely a stunner. She went through her process. She actually lost most of her leaves, and then she started bouncing back. And that is the Philodendron Nangaritense. Again, a real easy grow. This one actually is growing in a grow tent, but I'm about to bring her out. I believe this one is this is actually a crawler. So it actually, well, at some point I'm going to have to get her into a more rectangular pot. Obviously, this is what the leaves look like. The leaves look like when they first come out, and then they mature into a darker green. But when it first comes out, it's like a really bright red, well, reddish, and then it kind of matures, starts to slowly convert into a green, a medium green. So that's the Philodendron Nangaritense. All right. And if I'm massacring these words, yeah, please forgive me, but I just have a tendency to, it's still trying to get used to all of them. So my next one, and I think we've talked, if you guys have seen some other videos, my unboxing videos, you know which one this one is. We actually get it. This one is. And we actually get it out. So this one is the metallicum. The Anthurium metallicum. I got this one from Tropicals Plants. Has been a stunner since day one. That's doing it. Definitely been growing. I think it's actually starting. Is it starting to grow? No, it hasn't lost any leaves. Hasn't grown any leaves yet, but I think it's still kind of growing into its medium. I put it in a glass container and put a drainage hole at the bottom, and it's living. It's living its best life. These things get to be about 3 feet, so it's going to be interesting to watch this thing grow. All right, my next one. See if we can. All right, so my next one is one that I got this one. Again, a lot of these got a lot of part of the year. Got this in. I think this was actually one of my first ones, and then I wound up getting a second one because I liked the first one so much that I got a second one. It was and to give it a fuller look in this pot. It is definitely a stunner. This one is the Philodendron Tortum. Nothing to be said about it. She's a beauty. She's definitely been growing. And in spring, once fall hit, a lot of these started really just taking off because I guess it was so hot in Maryland that it just became, they just kind of said, we ain't doing anything right now. And so once it started to cool off, she's been she's been an active grower generally speaking, but she's still growing. I still give them some supplements or what have you. I think I need to figure out I may have to give this one some support at some point, but this is what she looks like. Philodendron Tortum. All right, guys. So it's getting a little crowded on this table. All right, so the next one that I have, I'm going to put this one over. The next one that I have that's one of my favorites. Again, he's just a great looking plant. Some people call him the king. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. This one is the Anthurium veitchii. Actually, this is the veitchii narrow. And it's called the veitchii narrow because the ribbing on the plant is a lot closer together. And they have, you have the veitchii type, which has very, I guess for lack of better terms, loose ribbing. They're kind of wide. And then you have the standard veitchii, which has its ribbing. You have the veitchii narrow that has even more ribs than the standard veitchii. And then you have the veitchii super narrow, which is supposed to have the most of them. So right now I have all of them in my collection. I am in love with this plant and this type of plant. So I have a lot of its siblings. All right. So next. Okay. All right, guys. So the next one we have is number 8, which is the Philodendron bicolor. This one is it's a beautiful plant. I like the fact that it has, so when it first comes out, it's red on the bottom, and then of course green on top. And as it matures, the green, it becomes green, but then it also keeps this red. I forgot what they call this, but this part of the leaf, it keeps that stays red. Again, pretty low key plant, very easy to maintain. I like the long strappy leaves. If you look at that, and this gets bigger. So at some point, I will definitely need to get at some point soon. I'll be putting a post on it, just so it won't have to lean as much. Probably this weekend. So this is the Philodendron bicolor, and this is number 8 on my list. All right. So next on my list is an actually it's an Alocasia. I have when I got this, it was basically a juvenile, and it is, as you know, Alocasias, especially the standard variety, i.e. non-jewel, can definitely grow fairly quickly. But this one is the Alocasia. Okay. Yeah, having some technical difficulty. Just wanted to have a little hug with one of my other plants. There we go. All right. So next one is we have the Alocasia red stem. She is a beauty. She has not stopped growing. I mean, obviously I keep her in the house, so I'm assuming that it's because of the fact that it stays a fairly nice temperature. She is on a northwest facing window, so she gets medium light. She also has a new leaf coming out right now, so that's cool. All right, so the red stem Alocasia. Next one up, and keeping with the Alocasia theme, trying to keep these out of the camera eye line so it can be a little bit of a surprise, but this is the Alocasia dragon scale. I love this plant. She's a beauty. The intricacies of the leaves has depth, and of course the texture is awesome. She too has been growing. I believe when I got this, they actually already had 2. It's either 1 or 2. There's at least 2. There may be 3 individual plants in this as a part of this, but she is beautiful. I think I got her from, I want to say Lowe's, something like that. But anyway, this is the Alocasia dragon scale. So the second to last, I think this is number 11, I think. I'm starting to lose count. All right, so second, I got 2 more to go. So this one is for the ones that my favorites, and then I'm going to get to my honorable mentions. But this one, if you have not seen this before, is called the Philodendron Bessie. What can I say about it? It's a sword, has the sword-like leaves, the interesting texture, the way it grows. It's actually coming out. A new leaf is coming out right now. It's about to unfurl. So right there. I keep her in I actually keep her in a northeast facing window. She's and she's very happy there. Ambient temperature about 50, and 75 as far as like the room temperature, but she is beautiful. Look at her. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. Love her. All right. So the last one, as you probably can tell right now, the last one on my list is, she's a beauty too, is going to be the Monstera albo. I actually got this one as 2 top cuttings from a seller on Etsy. I actually bought 3 originally over the course of some of the first one was a mid cutting, and it just did not make it. It was beautiful though, but I held on to it for the longest time, and it just would not do what it needs to do. So that comment that people say about it's better to have a mid cutting it's better to have a top cutting if you wanted to grow, because of the fact that everything else is going to be a struggle. That's 100% real. So that being said, she's great. She doesn't have, I think one of my new subscribers, K-Love, actually has a couple of them. I saw it on his channel. I believe I saw it on his channel. But yeah, he has some beautiful variegated plants. But so check them out if you want to see that. But yeah, she's beautiful. I like there's sectoral variegation, and then there's kind of like the speckled or mottled type of variegation. I typically, because it's my first one, I really kind of wanted to play it more safe and make sure they had as much green surface for it to grow and develop as possible. So I didn't go wild on the variegation. It does have the ability to go. I believe it does have the ability to go get a little bit more variegate, just depending on where the plant comes out on the leaves. Right now I have let's see. This one is the newest one from this stock. Let's see. Let's turn it around. There's the newest one from this one. Right there. And then I have another one from the other cutting that is coming out here. This one was more mature than this one, but I said it's definitely been giving me, once it's established itself, it started really growing. I think I get about a leaf a month. So that's awesome. All right. Okay. So now you've seen my favorites for the month. That being said, I'm going to show you a couple of honorable mentions that I just thought were really cool. Generally speaking, I think they're in the next few months, and especially by next spring, they're going to be they're really going to get their pace going. So my first honorable mention is my mandarin spider plant. I have a special attachment to this one because I actually got this one from the Lowe's clearance section, and it was beat up to no end. But I kind of worked with her over the summer, and she kind of grew up and kind of basically got herself together for the most part. She's coming out with some new leaves. It's pretty straightforward. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say it's like your traditional spider plant where it kind of grows like a weed. This one definitely is a little slower in its growth pattern, but the petioles, the orange petioles, the shape of the leaves, it's just a great one. I actually have 3 of these. I got 3 of them that day, and so this is one of the ones that I like the most. If you can see how that looks, it's just the orange line down the leaf. It's a beautiful plant. All right, sorry, I got a little mesmerized for a second. Okay, so my second one, my second honorable mention is the Philodendron UPI. Philodendron UPI. This one is obviously still a seedling. I got it as it was really tiny, and it's actually grown a lot over the last. Once it got established itself, it's grown a lot over the last. I just repotted it, so you see a little dirt on the leaves. That's what that's about. But just repotted it, and it's starting to see some of the leaves have their adult form, which is cool. I think I've had this plant for about 4 or 5 months, so it's growing. That's the Philodendron UPI. All right, so my third honorable mention is a hybrid, Anthurium hybrid. I can't tell you what, I don't have a picture of what it will look like as it gets older or whatever, but it is beautiful. This one is a Anthurium papilliminum times magnificum cross. And so Anthurium Anthurium poppy mag cross. Got this from a seller on Etsy named Bartrop. And you see the I actually just repotted this. I have 2 of these, and I just repotted them, separate them because one was growing a little faster than the other. So I wanted to make sure that they have enough room, respectively, to do what they need to do. But it's a beautiful plant. If you guys have ever seen a mature poppy and a mag, you know that one of these are big. These have big leaves, and they're just really beautiful and elongated. This one actually just when it first started, it was like this leaf, which is about this big, and this is actually the most recent. So it's, as you can see, it's starting to size up. It'll be interesting to see what this looks like in the next year. And my last honorable mention for this video, this one is something that. This one is one I like. I was like, okay, well, you know, it's a cool plant. Love the adult form. The reason why it's an honorable mention versus one of my favorites right now is because it's still a juvenile, and it has a little bit more maturity. It needs to be a little bit more mature. But the Philodendron Spiritus Sancti, Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. This is the newest leaf that I got in my care. This is the second one that's grown in my care. This was the first one. So this is the second one. Beautiful plant. I believe that this is definitely tissue culture. I got it from Equigenera USA, but it's a beautiful plant. And I'm just looking forward to seeing it grow right now. There are other plants from a leaf perspective that makes me, from an aesthetic perspective, it makes me more like ooh ah, but I can definitely see where this is going to go in the next 2 to 3 years. Seeing how others who raised theirs from very small to large, it's going to be awesome. I actually saw this first on Roots Ready's channel, and then I saw it on Aroid District, his channel. And it's so funny because when I saw it on Aero District channel, Dave from Aero District, I had just gotten it myself. So I was just like, it was actually mine was on its way to be shipped to me. So I was like, yeah, that's dope. I like that. So anyway, this is another honorable mention, which will probably become a favorite, I believe, in the next year or so. And that's it. All right, guys, I want to thank you for joining me. Please feel free to comment on some of the ones that are your favorites right now. Let me know what some of your favorite plants are, how they're doing in your conditions, anything that you may recommend in terms, especially with anthuriums. I'm having a real love affair with anthuriums right now. But please feel free to comment, subscribe, obviously, if you haven't subscribed already, and just continue to vibe in our community. I want to thank you again, guys, get all the new subscribers for subscribing and joining us, and also for my existing subscribers for continuing to support the channel, and look forward to talking to you guys the next time. Have a great one. Bye.